All right, so I'm going to make this video very quickly because I think it's probably the best way to remember what I did in terms of fixing the AC on my 2010 Volkswagen Jetta. I did use these kinds of refrigerant bottles and a four-way gauge. I evacuated the system down fully and saw that it maintained a vacuum pressure with a four-way gauge and a 5 CFM vacuum pump. And then I went to put in the remains of an old can from my last attempt at this, and nothing happened. Um, I shut it. Eventually, I just shut the car down. I noticed as it got to temperature, 190 degrees, the fans were not spinning. And so I came back in, turned everything off, and then came back in and did a quick search. And on TDI Club, there was a forum message pointing out that um, it's only when there is a pressure differential within the system between the high and the high pressure and the low pressure sides um, that will cause the fans to start spinning. So in a last ditch effort, what I did was I screwed an entirely new can onto the inlet, the refrigerant inlet, and turned it completely upside down after trying to measure it on a scale that was too sensitive and did not have a high enough capacity. I just simply turned it upside down and was able to see refrigerant flowing through in a liquid form through the sight glass in the manifold. And I did one whole can that proceeded relatively quickly with the car off. And then I went and turned the car on, and with the AC fire, button lit and it on 3 or 4 or whatever it was, the fan started spinning. So a pressure differential created by adding refrigerant only to the high side, or sorry, the low side, right, where it's the bigger tube, smaller fitting, bigger tube. And so that created a pressure differential, which caused, I suppose, the solenoid to activate the fans. Oh, and I had replaced the solenoid. And that was a trick in and of itself. I ended up using a massive flathead screwdriver that's about 24 inches long to get the damn thing out. The snap ring was another issue altogether, or the clip ring, or whatever the hell they call it. But I've ultimately got it in an orientation I thought perhaps might be better for next time. We shall see. And yeah, so then the fan started going with the vehicle on, and then I added a new line. I was trying to figure out how to weigh it, and then I was just like, you know what? Fuck this. Weighing it is a fool's errand, given the equipment that I have as a chemist. And so I looked up the chart that came happily with the manifold, not the pump, but two of them came with the manifold, thank God. And it points out a certain low side pressure and high side pressure that you should be expecting, i.e., add refrigerant until you get it. Based on the temperature. External temperature was 87 degrees. It was right in between 2 points on the chart. But I did it, and I almost basically added 2 full cans. So that's like 340 times 2 grams total. Only the refrigerant charge called for is only 525. So we'll see. But I can certainly just gas it out and let it go if necessary. Yeah, so that's what I did. Overall, I'm pleased with my finally figuring it out. And I just want to point out that the people who said in various YouTube videos that you really should not ever do more than rotate the can of Freon R134A, much beyond, say, 45 degrees or something like that, that's bullshit. You can't, like, without a full can with enough pressure, your compressor's not even going to turn on. So it's not going to create the pressure differential. You have to manually create it. So just upending it completely upside down, liquid going in that you can see through the sight glass. That's the way to at least start. I don't know if that was the best way of going about finishing off. Like I said, I added too much. We shall see if that makes a difference, etc. All right. And so this is 5 minutes and 23 seconds long. Goodbye.